Hello, genderqueer gang. It's been a long time. I'm supposed to be editing another video for school, regarding like transphobia and herp derp, which is gonna be played in the school. So that's another one of another one of my queer videos at their school. But yeah, so this week's topic, marriage and children. But I'm going to give my 2 cents on them. Yes. So, marriage. I am against marriage. I just find the whole institution of marriage to be useless. I feel that, like some people say, that marriage will bring you together. I'm just like, no it won't. It won't bring you any closer together than if you're already close. Because if 2 people love each other, 2 or more people, I ain't against nothing about that. But if people are truly in love with each other, having a wedding and spending thousands of dollars on a dress and a party and a suit, a couple suits, aren't going to bring you closer together. And people are like, if you can last the wedding, you can last marriage. I was like, no, you're just bankrupt. As you can probably imagine, I personally don't see myself getting married. When I was younger, I saw myself getting married. But I guess, like, thinking of it now, I never really thought of myself as getting married in the sense of like, oh, I'm doing it for love. I'm just doing it because it's sort of an expectation. It is. It's sort of like, when are you gonna get married and have kids? And I'm sort of like, there's this big thing in the States, it happens in other parts of the world too, about marriage equity, and I personally think that marriage equity is completely irrelevant, because there's no reason to have marriage equity for the LGBT community if they don't have any rights in the first place. There was a Japanese political party, the liberal Japanese political party, who stated that they didn't want to give gay people rights, because they didn't need them. And I completely agree with this statement. Gay people don't need rights because they're just like everyone else. But the fact that they aren't treated like everyone else is the reason why they need the rights. So yes, gay people need rights. Not because they're different, because they're no different from anyone else, but because they're not treated like everyone else. So, yeah. And I think those things need to be taken care of first before you even ponder marriage, because marriage is second. It's not even second. It's at the end of the line compared to people's rights. Also want to throw in there that not constitution, but the marriage does completely disregard trans and gender variant people. Throwing that out there, as this is the genderqueer gang. Marriage, the whole concept of marriage, was only why it was adapted. I said adapted, weird. Adapted was because it was meant to keep track of where people were going. So it's just like, you're selling off your daughter to this family, and now you are part of this family, so we have to keep that written down. And nowadays, it's still used for the same thing as keeping track of people, but as well as, well, now you get benefits. I'm just like, that's stupid that you have to get married to someone to be able to get benefits. I'm just like, why can't everyone have benefits? That's not very equitable. But that's my little on marriage. So now on to children. Oh, here's my little baby. I like kids. I do. A lot of my friends are just like, ew, kids, gross. And then like some of them flip flop. I've always liked kids. But I don't see myself ever having any, not necessarily having them myself, or adopting, but I don't see myself taking care of children in my own home, sort of thing, in the future. I'm thinking of work right now, so I'm just like, children are sort of, no. Not that I wouldn't mind either having my own children, but more so adopting. I hate the fact that in the adoption process, you're paying for a child. It's like, you're going to buy this child, and now they're going to be a part of your family. And I was like, why are you buying this child? This kid needs a home. They don't have a price tags on them. You're setting a worth on this child. I was like, that's horrendous. That whole concept of paying to have a child in your family is horrendous. I also don't like the fact that a lot of people are like, we're going to go over to China or to Africa and adopt these ethnic babies because we're good people and we're saving them from poverty. Where I'm just like, there are a lot of children in Canada, where I'm from, in the States, in Europe, that are homeless or in the adoption system or are protections of the state or whatever your sections of your country are called. There are tons of children within our own countries that need adopting, and yet those children get completely ignored because everyone wants to have an Asian baby or a black baby. And I'm like, why? Adopting locally is sort of, in my own personal respects, better, even though adopting still is priced and silly and foolish. All in all, I don't like marriage, because it's a silly construct, not because I'm, like, against the system. I just don't like it because it's just a silly, biased construct. And I love kids, and I'm probably going, or no, I'm not probably, I'm going to be working with children in my future. But I can't really see myself as having any, or raising any, unless you count raising children in a classroom, raising them. Well, they're not my kids. Maybe they could be my kids. I'll just hug them every day. That'll make up for it. Nonetheless, I gotta go edit my video on equality. So, I'm gonna do that! Yeah, so, peace out, genderqueer gang.